journey of ISTP, almost 40. So, I'll just talk briefly about how I think all my functions showed up in my life and kind of what was going on during those time periods, okay? So, hopefully this will be brief. Well, it should be brief. It's not going to be like 15 minutes, that's for sure. Okay, so growing up, I would say when I was a little guy, probably, between age 3 and 10, I was I was all about taking things apart, and that's what I did. I mean, you name it. I would, I took apart door fixtures, locks. I would take apart walkie-talkies. I did that. I was trying to take apart my big wheel when I had it. And I would put this stuff back together. Yeah, if it was something, I was just again, I was just trying to tear it apart. But my mom was always cool, and she's like, she recognized early on that I was inquisitive and that kind of thing. On the other side, when we're not talking about something physical, but ideas. My mom would say that, when I used to ask why, especially early on, probably, around 2 and 3, 4, and then I started to look in encyclopedias, and I would read them, try to figure things out. So I guess whatever they were talking about, then I would, just try to figure out, well, what's this and that, and I, try to figure out what's going on. So again, trying to take ideas apart and whatever conversations apart and figure out what the context is and all that kind of stuff. This is, again, this is stuff that my mom would say to me, and my uncles would say, that was really logical and stuff when I was really young. So, all right, so SE, that probably kicked in right around 10, and that lasted. I was doing that pretty good up to about 18, right? I think that's when I was probably pretty fully developed at SE at that time. And so what that looked like, I was building forts, and I was going out and doing different things. I was involved in, I swinging on a vine. I have a huge scar on my abdomen because I was just, I was always getting into everything, just doing all kinds of stuff, swimming in creeks and, you name it. I played sports, baseball, and then I got into basketball really, really seriously. I would play. I would go to the basketball court by myself, and I would shoot, and I would just do pickup games and whatnot. And I was just completely into basketball. I was disregarding everything, and I was just all in, 100%. And also, I did a lot of stuff outdoors, a lot of camping. I spent a lot of time just, getting those kinds of experiences and whatnot, So that would be my example of SE. But it was very much about the moment. When in school, I was not the kind of person that really turned in a lot of homework. Just because I would try to do things at the last moment, I guess. I did that a lot more. I didn't really focus very well, I guess, on turning stuff in. It wasn't really a priority, you know. So it's like whatever's happening today was happening today, and that was it. Okay, so let's move on to NI. You know, and what they say is that once you get to your auxiliary function, because TI would be dominant, SC is auxiliary. Once you get to that particular point, your inferior starts to mess with you a little bit, and so it came in kind of spotty, and so I will just say that it came in. I could feel it coming in a little bit around 17, 18. I think I wanted to be part of the group before then. You know, like I had moments where I wanted to be part of the group. You know, 16, 17, somewhere around there. But again, it was just kind of spotty, whatever. Okay, so NI probably came in. I would say that's, and that came in around the same time, right? So 18, 19, 20. I mean, I had a little bit, and there was even a little bit in there because I think I spontaneously wrote a poem for somebody one time, and that was just kind of weird, whatever. And I don't know, and I was so hidden. I think, and I don't even know what was going on. And looking back, I think I really started to get introspective and thinking about the future. In my about 25, I started thinking, 24, 25, I started thinking a little bit into the future about what was happening, whatnot. But I didn't really have like a plan. I wasn't really like trying to plan things, but it was just like these hit and miss moments where you start thinking about, well, what if I did this, what about, what would happen after that, just like small things. I think I was probably around there because, with me trying to improvise and in the moment, in class and, because I maybe read the assignment and everything and then going into class, and then coming up with something off the top of my head or whatever. And that was probably in there. But I think it really came in full force probably, like 25, and that kind of directed me for a while. I started thinking about different things. What was going on during that time? I was in the service. I was just about to go into the service, and so I think that definitely helped me. I mean, I got a little more introspective, and I remember being in basic training, and I think I even tricked myself into thinking about deities and that kind of stuff and metaphysics and that kind of craziness. And I think that's probably a sign of an eye right there. That went in. I think I became more and more introspective. Like now, I'm a lot more introspective and looking within and trying to figure things out and getting these little things within myself. And I know that could be, you could say, oh well, that's like some FI type stuff going in there. Like, no, I don't really think it's that. I think it's just more of like thinking about what kind of things could happen in the future and whatever I'm doing right now, just being able to master whatever I want and to be able to just be flexible in the moment, whatever. All right, so extroverted feeling. FE, when did that start kicking in? Like I said, extroverted feeling has been like a thorn in my side, probably, like I said, from age 17. It really kicked in, I think, right after, like right around the time I got out of service, like within a few years of that, and so it was right around, my mid thirties, and and I just, I started to think a little bit more about other people and what they had going on, and I get these crazy urges sometimes, like I get like emotional about stuff related to other people, like it really like heart tugging kind of weird things, I think, and that would happen, and so. But I would say definitely now I control that a little bit better. But I understand, I understand how much I can give to other people, and where I need to keep my space, because I know that it'd be pretty draining. So, all right. So, just a small recap there. TI pretty present up until, not up until, but early on, like 3 to 8, somewhere around there. SE, I did a lot of SE stuff from 10 to, 10, well, actually 10 to like 24. I was really, I mean, pretty much all my life, but like, SE, it showed up around 10 for me. FE started sprinkling itself into my life, in my late teen years, and then in I started to get more introspective, in my mid-20s, and then FE really brought itself out in my mid-30s. It really brought itself out, and so I'm still kind of going through that and figuring out where I need to be on that. So anyway, this is just a small one, not a small one. I mean, it's 12 minutes in, but this is what that's like. I mean, I'll be, turning 40 soon here, and I just wanted to put a video like this out there because I don't know if I've seen anything like that. And typically ISTPs are terse, short, right? I think when you get older, if you are trying to develop, or you put in situations where you develop, then you will have a different impression there. So